What is up, everybody? This is Matt, the host of the Jammies, and we are back with another 30 plus artists. Why not every single month? Let's just keep on bringing as much music as we can possibly handle. I've been cooking through so much good music this month. We have so much to talk about as per usual, and some bands like Telescreens, Visit Neptune, After Louise, The Sways, and more. We'll be getting some good spotlight here, as well as the albums Broken View by Sam Barber, Entropy by Foxtide, and Spillway by Hallpass. Even more than that coming up. Whole bunch to get into in episode 18. Thank you so much for being here. Let's kick it to Superfect, and then we'll get into the meat of the show. Welcome in, everybody, to episode number 18 of The Jammies. Thank you so much for being here. Really means a lot. We are rocking and rolling into our 18th episode, and speaking of rock and roll, we got lots of music to talk about, a lot of rock music, as I mentioned in episode 17.5. We have a lot to get through. I will try my best to work it, girl. Work it, girl. Yeah, no. Where we're going to start today is with a few artists that were recommended to me. I have had 3 different people recommend music to me. It has been something that I've really wanted to dive into, try to check them out as much as I can. The first recommendation that I'm going to talk about today, before we get into, the usual housekeeping and the brand new segment that we're doing and all of the music that we're going to talk about in episode 18. First and foremost, let's get it started with some music right away, right? So we have Scott's recommendation. You guys know Scott. We've been talking about Scott. Scott is one of my good friends, and Mr. Scott, Scotty C's as I like to call him. He offered up the artist named Wet Leg, so that is W-E-T space L-E-G. So Wet Leg, yes, interesting name for a band, but this is a pop punk duo, 2 female singers. And it's like, in my head, it's basically what I would picture. If I was to go to Coachella, this is pretty much what I would think would be like the artist there. Not only from the sound, but to the name of the artist, to even like the album artwork on their album Moisturizer, even like the album name Moisturizer. I don't know. Again, never been to Coachella, live in Wisconsin. I don't know really much about Coachella, but the name just screams Coachella incarnate, So Moisturizer is their second album. It's going to start with like a real punch in the mouth with the CPR song, but there are some real good ones on here. And me and Scott's favorite song off of this one is actually their number 1 song on Spotify. It's called Man Get Out. And this one, really loving it, queuing it up enough. And this is kind of where I started the month. Was Scott recommended Wet Leg at a really good time. It was right when I cleared off all my music and got into prepping for episode 18. And this is the first song and the first band that we're going to talk about in episode 18. Funny enough, Man Get Out will be the first song on the Jammies playlist, which we'll mention a little bit more about the Jammies playlist on Spotify. But it's going to be one hell of a way to kick off the playlist there. Specifically, the lyric in the refrain of Wet Leg song, Man Get Out, is, "You want to fuck me? I know most people do." So enjoy that one, and know that there's going to be a lot more than just the pop punk duo of Wet Leg to come next in that one. Speaking of next, we are going to be talking about Basement. This is my buddy Chip's recommendation. Chip is in the band. He's the bassist for Superfect, who just killed it in that intro music. He recommended the band Basement. And I was able to listen through their top 10 songs on Spotify. Just was able to listen through those one time before I had to kind of move on to some other stuff. But I did like what I was hearing. I'm hoping that I have a little bit more time, maybe next month, to deeper dive into it, because they do have an album coming out, actually. It's called Wired. It's going to be out May 8th. So maybe that'll be a chance to dive into some more Basement. Get down into the basement. They got to have a good catchphrase. Dig into the basement? Dig out a basement? I don't know. It's something like that, right? But yeah, that's Basement. Thank you, Chip, for recommending some music to me. And our last recommendation is from my friend Mel. Mel recommended the band Father of Peace. This is a band actually that I saw pop up on TikTok once, and I thought they were quite a bit bigger. They definitely have a decent following, don't get me wrong, but Father of Peace, they have some good stuff out there. I've been able to only listen to a couple songs, but the ones that immediately caught me are the songs No Complaints and the song Enemy. Enemy definitely sounds like a System of the Down type of song, maybe a little bit of influence there. No Complaints has a good rock style to it as well. So that is the 3 recommendations. Thank you so much to Scott, Chip, and Mel for their recommendations, Wet Leg, Basement, and Father of Peace, respectively. So that is just, I want to dive into some music right away, Sometimes I talk a little bit on housekeeping and whatnot, which we'll get into probably next here, but there's a couple artist recommendations before I talk about the recommended artists that I have been digging through in the month of April. Alrighty, let's kick it into some quick housekeeping. Do follow the show if you don't mind. Click that follow button. Also, if you want to click the bell to be notified every time an episode comes out, you do need to click the bell in order to get those fancy functionalities, but do follow the show, rate it if you have the time. Do appreciate that from you. And next up is Jammies playlist. We mentioned it just a second ago, but Jammies playlists are Spotify-specific playlists for each and every episode of the Jammies. So all previous episodes have the Jammies playlist as well as this episode here. So in the description of this episode, go down there, click on that link, and it'll actually bring you right to a playlist on Spotify, which has all of the music recommended during this episode. So that is going to be the easiest way to, instead of just hearing me say all these different names of artists and songs, because trust me, there's going to be a lot. There's 30 plus again this month, but do go to that link. That is going to be Jamie's playlist. I'll probably mention it a couple times throughout the show just to give you a little reminders. Next up in housekeeping, if you have any music that you've been enjoying that you wanted to share with the show, definitely reach out to me via email is probably going to be the easiest way, or any of my socials. I do have a link tree that is linked in the description as well as the email address, thejammiesshow@gmail.com. Reach out if you have been enjoying the recommendations, if you've been enjoying the show, if you have any recommendations for the show for music, artist albums, anything like that, as well as if you have any music that you want to showcase on the show. We have a artist showcase. First one of 2026. The Jammies Awards was kind of more of a 2025 thing, despite it being out in 2026. So this will be the first Jammies Artist Showcase of the year. And we are going to be showcasing Allo Monroe, which was one of the main bands that we talked about in episode 17. But we have them here in 18 as well. So pretty excited to have Allo Monroe and their latest single, Sway. It's off of a new EP that they have coming out in May. We'll be showcasing that at the end of the show, so definitely stick around for Allo Monroe. Lastly, episodes have timestamps. That is housekeeping. Thank you for sticking with me on that. And I do have one other thing to mention, and this is going to be a new segment. And it was going to be a new segment on the show. I'm actually going to break it out into individual podcast episodes. Late in 2025, I found a YouTuber named Struthless. He is from Australia. Just like I love Australian rock bands and all that, I love an Australian beatboxer, Codfish. We also love Struthless, this YouTuber from Australia who is pretty damn popular. So you maybe have heard of him. Essentially, he has some good uplifting videos, some good stuff about being creative and sticking to being creative and that. One of the things that he came up with himself there is called an alphabet superset. And this is a creative exercise going from A to Z in the alphabet. He actually says A to Z since he's out there on Australia. So we're going to be doing an alphabet superset for albums. So in episode 17.5, I mentioned we're going to be talking over some album specific new projects, and that is going to be the alphabet superset. So I guess Ruthless was reading a child's book to his kid. It was, A for aardvark or whatever, B for, let's say, Bengal tiger. I don't know exactly what the book was, but it went all the way through with a picture and an animal for each letter. And it actually stemmed into this idea that he came up with that many people have actually taken and used for a creative exercise. And it's essentially a creative outline, really, to get you to keep on pushing through and getting this grand work at the end of it of 26 different videos, or in our case, podcasts, episodes, I guess. So yeah, again, Struthless calls it A to Z. We're going to be calling it A to Z's Dead. That is the project that I'm working on. Zed's Dead, a great EDM band, or artist, I guess, out there. So we're calling it A to Zed's Dead. So that is my alphabet supersets, and look forward to at least one letter and one episode each month. I'm not going to hold myself to specific dates yet just because the summers get really busy. I have a lot of other stuff going on, so it is adding a little bit more to my plate, but the cool thing is that I'm going to be able to talk about different albums that maybe I don't have the time to listen to because I'm all in new music discovery mode throughout the month and working on the midway episodes as well as these full episodes. And it really does take some time to get through all those things. And the first alphabet superset, starting with A, is going to be for the album Aha Shake Heartbreak by Kings of Leon. So pretty excited to talk Kings of Leon. I haven't really had a chance much. I've compared some bands to Kings of Leon, but I haven't talked about them specifically really a lot on the Jammies. So that'll be the first of the 26-part series. That is my alphabet superset, A to Z's Dead, on albums and EPs that I'll be talking about. So look forward to that as they come out. All right, all that being said, I appreciate everybody sticking with me, and we're going to get into the artist to mention and the artist that I've been checking out the most, digging the most in the month of April. So let's get into it with the artist Telescreens. Telescreens, I first heard them in a video that was the song Nothing, and pretty cool little setup that they were recording in. This guy was just playing guitar with just his fingers. I don't really understand how he was doing it, but basically the song caught me right away. It immediately kind of felt like an 80s rock, maybe like 90s grunge feel to it. And I saved Telescreens. I saved the song Nothing, checked out the full song, and really dug it. So saved them, was ready to jump into all their music, and it is some fantastic stuff. Again, they do have that 80s rock feel. There's definitely like the 90s grunge era, but like with like a modern indie polish to it. And wow, these guys, I think they're just going to be gigantic after this new album drops. They do have a new album coming up. It is called Why the Lights Flicker. It is releasing June 12th. Right now they're sitting at 67,000 monthly listeners on Spotify. Maybe not the best metric because, just even a week ago, they were at about 75,000 monthly listeners on Spotify. So not quite sure how that all works, but I would honestly be shocked if they weren't over 300,000 by the end of 2026. And after this album, Why the Lights Flicker, comes out in June, because man, does this album look like it's shaping up into something special. There's 8 of 20 tracks that have been released. Honestly, only listen to them maybe 5 to 10 times. I want to keep it fresh because there's a 99% chance that I'll be talking more Telescreens in June. Yeah, Telescreens. My comparisons are honestly Nirvana and the Pixies. You can hear a lot of times. They remind me a bit of Foxtide for the more modern stuff, but really, really some great rock and some stuff that I know that some of my friends out there are going to be latching on to. I'm thinking it's something that I can finally bring to even maybe my buddy Chip, and I'll be like, hey, you love all those grunge bands, the Smashing Pumpkins and whatnot. Do check out Telescreens if you're into any of that stuff there. And they do have 2 albums out currently. Again, they're working on that 3rd album before it comes out here. The Return is an album from 2020 I was not able to listen to yet. They have some pretty long albums, over an hour long for each of them. They also have a 2nd album. It is just called 7. It is the number 7. It was released in 2024. It has a lot of good stuff on it as well. Some really long songs on there, but all in all, definitely enjoyed a lot of them. Put them into a playlist, all for the Telescreens, and that one has probably over 15 songs of it. So definitely liked a lot of Telescreens as I listened through them quite a bit this month. But again, saved some of the songs on Why the Lights Flicker because again, there's 8 of 20 tracks already out from that album. So I know I'm going to be listening to it. So let's say a little bit for when the whole thing comes out. My favorite songs right now by them, and the ones that'll be on the Jammies playlist, are the song Nothing, as we mentioned before. The song So What is phenomenal. And then the song Games, which was off of that 2nd album named 7. So those are the 3 songs, and they have a whole lot more to offer. So be checking those guys out. And again, hopefully we'll be talking about them real soon on June 12th when Why the Lights Flicker releases there. So Telescreens, definitely an artist that I am excited about. I'm excited to share that with people. But the next band that we're going to be talking about, I'm honestly just hyped for new music by these guys as well. So the next band we're going to be talking about is called Visit Neptune. They have 1 album out so far. It's called Show Me 3D. It was released in May 2021. In this first album, I feel like I'm going to compare it to some Arctic Monkeys almost. It's got sort of more of a hard rock vibe to it and more of that heavy synth and some songs that you often maybe hear in an Arctic Monkeys song, heavy guitar on that. Show Me 3D has some good stuff on it. But yeah, let's just jump into Visit Neptune. And really, like, it was a band that the band name caught my eye for sure. I definitely want to check them out just based off of, I feel like Visit Neptune is a sweet band name. And the first song that really stood out to me was one of the first ones that I heard by them. It's a song called Oracle. Oracle reminds me of Hall Pass, which we'll be talking about Hall Pass in a little bit. I love me some Hall Pass, so it made sense that Visit Neptune caught me with the the band name, and then also this Oracle song has been treating me real well. So let's get back to that Show Me 3D album from 2021. Again, kind of like an Arctic Monkeys album in a way. It also has like a lot of songs that flow into the next one. I really love that one. One song kind of is coming to an end, but it actually just rolls into the next one. This album has a lot of that going on, and one of my favorite parts of the whole album is the song $4 Room. $4 Room, one of my favorites on the album, and it rolls right into a shorter song, maybe like a minute long, called Oznala or Oznola, Oznola. When I go from $4 Room into Oznala, it makes me feel like I'm traveling to Neptune. Like, it's a great vibe, and very much appreciate that little ride that they take you on through the album Show Me 3D. Some of the best songs on the album for me: When I Burn Blue, Figure Eights, $4 Room, You Were Not You, and Heat Stroke in December. And the album has some good stuff on it for sure, but I honestly feel like it's where this band is heading that gets me even more excited about what's going to be coming from Visit Neptune, because their album was in 2021, and now their latest singles from 2022, even like 2024 and 2025, have been really, really solid. So their more recent stuff, again, reminds me more of the Hall Pass. All these recent singles are going to be even higher recommendations than the whole album was. Some of the great singles that have been released recently, there's one called Change the Times. I believe that's their number one song on Spotify. That one came out in 2022. Change the Times is really good. If We Get Older, really loving that one too. We got the song Wicked Love. Oracle, as we mentioned, is another great one. Came out in 2024. And a single in 2025 called Sophia are all fantastic songs. If I could, I'd include all 5 of those ones and some from their original album on the Jammies playlist. But for now, we're going to include Oracle, Wicked Love, and that $4 Room / Oznala songs. So if you're shuffling, Oznala might sound a little out of place, but if you're listening to them in order, hopefully listen to the Jammies playlist in order. $4 Room will extend into Oznala and hopefully allow you to visit Neptune there yourself. So that is Visit Neptune, and I hope you guys enjoy that artist as much as I have been, as well as, man, I am just super excited to hear what's next for Telescreens, what's next for Visit Neptune, because I think good things are on the horizon, that's for sure. Let's move on to an artist that only has 2 songs out on Spotify currently, but a lot more to come, I guarantee it. This is an artist called After Louise. So I originally saw After Louise on TikTok. She's making some incredible music on a loop station with a microphone, a laptop, and not much more. She just started releasing music to Spotify actually this year. So there's only 2 songs out so far, but what I really love about this artist is kicks off a really solid, groovy sort of beat, and then, man, when she comes over the top with her voice, wow, it is something special. It's soft, like airy. It just layers beautifully with the music that she's creating, and off to a great start on Spotify with the songs Fine and her latest release, Crybaby. Crybaby is definitely the one that I am enjoying and queuing up all the damn time, and hoping more songs get added to Spotify, because honestly, anytime a video of hers pops up on my feed, it's usually one of the first ones when I go into TikTok, and the music is just lovely, excellently creative, and really looking forward to having more shuffled up into Spotify, because I'm not on TikTok very often, but again, if her videos pop up, you're always in for a treat there. So her TikTok and her Instagram handle is at After Louise, so at AFTERLOUISE. So definitely go check her out for even more music outside of her Spotify. Alrighty, moving into the next artist, and this artist is called Nothing But Thieves. They are a pretty big band. They have over 3 million monthly listeners on Spotify, and they have 3 different albums out. I had so much music to work through this month, and Nothing But Thieves almost didn't make the cuts just because I feel like they do have quite a few listeners, obviously, again, over 3 million monthly listeners, so I also didn't get a chance to dive all the way through their music, but what I did hear, I really, really enjoyed, and I enjoyed it enough that I wanted to include it on the Jammies episode 18 here. So the album that I mainly listened to outside of a couple other singles was the album called Dead Club City. Dead Club City is an 11-song album. It was released in June of 2023, and it has a really good mix of songs that honestly like bring a lot of good energy. The song Tomorrow is Closed, Keeping You Around, and then Green Eyes, Sienna. Those are my three favorites, but pretty much the whole album is great. The only ones that I really skip usually are like the first and last songs, but even those ones kind of grew on me after time. Pretty hard-hitting rock band with like a lot of distortion, kind of heavy bass lines is what I would say, but a lot of songs, they just like stay dreamy. And again, they're pretty hard-hitting. Definitely have been enjoying these ones and didn't want to leave it off the Jammies list here because it has been really treating me well. So Green Eyes is a little bit slower and kind of slows things down on the album, but again, in a solid way and really enjoying the whole album. But the ones that'll be on Jamie's playlist are Tomorrow's Closed, Keeping You Around, and Green Eyes, Sienna. And that is a quick bit on Nothing But Thieves. Okay, next artist up is the band The Sways. The Sways I just recently sort of found here, and they only have a 5-song EP out right now. It came out in September 2025. It's just called The Sways EP. And this artist, I stumbled into it actually from my sister's Instagram post. I don't know if she's been holding out on me or something like that. I asked for recommendations from a lot of people. And I stumbled into this song. It was the background of a image slideshow or whatever you call it. That sounds really old, I feel like, but on Instagram she made a post and this was the background song. The song Someday We Will Dream About Today, and it damn near made me cry. Like it's just a beautiful song. I immediately was like, what song is this? Like I need to know, and I need to check these people out. Really nice, easy listen. Again, just only 5 songs out currently and all good songs. The top 2 that I have right now for you guys is Someday We Will Dream About Today is definitely their best song, but another one that kind of hits those same moods is the song I Have Been the Moon. Both of those are phenomenal. For comparison's sake, I feel like they remind me of Dr. Dog. Not only similar sort of styles, but like the lyrics and like the storytelling, they're just very beautiful. It's like a chillin' vibey band. They don't really have all that much instruments going on, but it's their vocalist and the way that they layer their vocals that really just makes for impactful music there. So great lyrics, great impactful stuff there, and that is The Sways. Again, I was going to save them for next month, but with only 5 songs, it was easy enough to digest, and I'm happy to include them on episode 18. All right, let's gear up and gear into some albums and EPs that have been released recently. On midway episodes, we talk about the different albums and EPs that are coming out for each month. We had mentioned a couple of these ones there. First one we're going to talk about is the first one that was released. It is called Broken View. This is the latest album from Sam Barber. This was released on April 3rd. And man, Sam Barber. We talked quite a bit about Sam Barber. If you need a deep dive into his original album or his EP that came out in 2025, we talked quite a bit about that on an episode back, maybe in, I want to say September-ish, something like that. But I'm still under the impression that Sam Barber just doesn't make bad music. I feel like at the very least, I'd give a song like a 7 out of 10 rating, and then you go all the way up to 10 out of 10 songs that he has come out with. I can listen to any song he comes out with. That was actually a big talking point in that last episode. I mentioned Sam Barber when I was deep diving into his music. I can listen to any of his songs. I never really skip any of them, and at the very least, they're good for me. And again, they're all the way up to me sometimes just being wowed by the music and by the voice that Sam Barber pushes out there. So this album, it stays consistent with that. It plays nicely from song to song. And if you like Sam Barber, if you have heard of Sam Barber, again, not a small artist by any means, but this album is just a lot more of him. It's a lot more good stuff. Some of my favorites off the new album are going to be the songs Hate It Here, All For You, and I Will Follow. Those are my 3 favorites, and there's a lot of good stuff, again, outside of those 3 songs, but those ones just, they have what I love about Sam Barber, just emotional lyrics and like the ability to really push his voice powerfully through the song. So that's what I'm going to say about Broken View and Sam Barber. Again, talked about him quite a bit in September of 2025. So go back to that if you wanted a little bit more info on Sam Barber. But yeah, just a solid kind of country folk artist there that is climbing the ranks. And my brother-in-law actually got to see Sam Barber live. He did a couple of songs off of this new album, I guess. And all in all, he said that it was a fantastic show, one of the better shows that he's ever been to. So that is high praise there. So if Sam Barber is touring around your area, definitely recommend it. Just go check him out if you have the opportunity. And do check out Broken View by Sam Barber if you have the time. Moving into a quick mention of Junkyard Cats EP. This is the latest 5-song EP from Junkyard Cat. It was released also on April 3rd. 5 songs, 20 minutes. We've talked quite a bit about this one, at least mentioned in a couple different shows here. We've been talking about the single called Fool. That one's probably the best song on here still, but I enjoy each of the songs on here. I've queued it up enough times. The opener is a bit odd, but it's got some good guitar and some good bass in it as well. The song Jellyfish has some peaks. And then the song Borderline is good. It's a little long, but I do feel like it pans itself out and it does good there. I'll include Borderline on the Jammies playlist here because I have included Fool and Jellyfish on previous episodes of the Jammies and previous Jammies playlist there. So we'll include Borderline. Check that one out. And that is Junkyard Cat EP, the latest by Junkyard Cat. All right, next up is Colorado's on Fire Again Live 2025 by Richie Mitch and the Coal Miners. This is a live album that was released on April 10th. I didn't anticipate listening to this live album too much, especially how much other music there has been coming out around the same time. But Richie Mitch and the Coal Miners always finds a way to hook me, man. And this one did all the same. What a great showcase of their music and a bit of who they are live. My wife and I, we had the chance to go see RMCM live back in 2023 with only about 20 people in the room. And it was honestly amazing to see them back then. And it's been really cool to just follow them. And I mean, they've released so much good music recently. And to hear it all on this live album has been really, really solid. And it's just amazing that they're out there selling out huge concert halls now. Good for RMCM. I'll always be vouching for them and telling you guys to listen to Richie Mitch and the Coal Miners. Yeah, sometimes live recordings just offer a different take on songs that you know and love. But again, if you're a big Richie Mitch and the Coal Miners fan, it's worth checking out no matter what. The ones that really did it for me and the ones that are clearly offer a lot more are the songs A Moment, Subliming, and Wet Socks. There's some wicked guitar solos and jam sessions going on in all of them. Wet Socks in particular is a great closeout to this whole live album. I'm guessing they probably close their shows with it as well, and it's a great fit to do so. I'm loving this iteration of the song. So Wet Socks, already one of my favorite and one of the greatest songs out there by RMCM. But this live version, it has a 2+ minute jam session to close things out. So if you're going to listen to one, that's going to be on the Jammies playlist, Wet Socks live. So that is Colorado's on Fire Again Live 25 by Richie Mitch and the Coal Miners. All right, next up is going to be first impressions, early impressions on a few other new albums that have recently come out, even more recently than the ones that we have been talking about. So we're talking Entropy by Foxtide. This is a new album release from Foxtide. It was released on April 17th. So I'm recording on April 28th. So really only about 11 days to digest this one. But man, what an album. It's it continues to grow on me for sure. But even that first time, oh man. Loving this one. Entropy by Foxtide. Already in the list for albums of the year, So we'll see how it all shakes out. But definitely going to be in the running. Hopefully be one of those nominees up there because this one, front to back, is really good. It's showcasing kind of something new from Foxtide in a lot of ways. So let's get into it. Starting with the first song on the Entropy album. And it is the song Entropy. It starts the album and man, I really wish it was a longer song. It's got this incredible build up. I would love to hear a full album that sounds like this 1 minute Entropy song from Foxtide. But alas, we get the intro and it is a pretty quick intro there, but it's got really good keyboard and the way that it works with Foxtide's lead vocalist. man, I love this sound. And I'll be mentioning that a couple more times there. Entropy, again, kind of an intro song. It leads into a really good song called Days Move Slow. So they do incorporate like a bit more keyboard, I'd say, in this album, more than normal. And it's a welcome addition. It's, again, something I'd love for them to lean more into. Songs like Days Move Slow and What Good Is the Rain. You can definitely hear that keyboard kind of filling out sound in the background, and I do really love that. So Foxtide, always have loved the singer. They have some really catchy guitar on all their songs, and two of the singles that came out before this album released that made it on the album, the song Cut and Dry and the song Start of Nothing. These are songs that like sound like Foxtide to me. Hearing these two singles before the album released, I figured that was sort of the album that we were going to be getting, you know, another album that sounded exactly like Foxtide, and nothing wrong with that for sure. But this album like also shines in something entirely different, and it really just showcases some new sort of music from Foxtide that I'm really excited to be hearing. And it's one of the reasons that I feel like it's shooting up my ranks in terms of best albums of the year already here. So songs like Entropy, again, as we mentioned, that intro song that moves into Days Move Slow, those ones are both really good. Song Heart in the Ground is definitely one of my favorites, and one that I've been queuing up even outside of the album here. And Wait Until It Happens and What Good Is the Rain. Just all those songs are like, they're just a little bit different than what I'm used to from Foxtide, and they're just beautiful, beautiful songs. So really stoked on those ones. In the past, I would have never really thought Foxtide and the Beatles in the same sentence, but they got some Beatlesy shine to them in this album, specifically in songs like Heart in the Ground. It's got that mellower sound. It's like the layered light backup vocals kind of slows things down a bit, and it's like absolutely love when Foxtide is leaning into this sound specifically here. So again, really enjoying the whole album. I'm impressed with it overall. It's great front to back. I definitely recommend Entropy by Foxtide if you can't tell. So hopefully we're talking about it at the end of the year, you know? I mean, I would love to hear even more amazing music, of course, but this is one that is got a lot going on for it and a lot working for me. So happy to be reporting on Foxtide and a great new album from them. Next up is the album Spillway by hallpass. This is hallpass's debut album. So Spillway released, again, April 17th, and looking through the song list on there were actually 5 different songs that were singles before this album came out. That is the song Quarter, Aurora, Home, Stressor, and Who We Are. I think we've managed to talk about pretty much all these songs over the past few weeks, if not months here. And that's a good start. I mean, it's easy for me to vouch for all those songs. I'm happy they made it onto the album. Quarter is a great intro to the entire album. It's one of my favorites of hallpass's recent releases here. And the song Who We Are, I was kind of surprised to see it on this album as it came out in 2023, but like after you listen to the whole album and it closes the album, actually, it's the closer on here, and it makes total sense. Like hearing it to close out the album, like it still hits like the first time I ever heard it, and it's a really, really solid song. I love that they ended it with Who We Are. So with those 5 songs being already songs I had heard, that left only 7 new songs for me that I've never heard that are on this Spillway album. And Spillway actually is a song. It's the second to last song on there, and it's like just over a minute long, some nice piano, no singing or anything like that in it. So really that left me with 6 songs. And these 6 songs are the song Useful, Rain, Habits, Locomotive, Poke, and The Park. I feel like each of them have good parts to them. I'm a little bit more keen to the songs Useful, Rain, and Habits so far. But again, these are just sort of first impressions again on this Spillway album by hallpass. I'm looking forward to continuing to queue this one up. Again, all in all, I mean, the 5 singles that had come out, I really like all those ones. Aurora is probably still my favorite song by hallpass that has been released since probably Morning Time. Actually, for sure, the song Morning Time back in 2024. That one came out on an EP called Oscillate. And the song Morning Time, it was actually the Jammies 2024 Jammies Song of the Year winner. So high bar to be set there, but Aurora is probably my favorite song that has come out since that one. Still some great stuff on this whole album. Again, we might even be talking about it next episode, but I at least wanted to give you my first impressions and let you know that Spillway by hallpass is definitely worth your time there. Last thing to mention about Foxtide and Hallpass, they are actually touring together right now. So if you get a chance, definitely go check them out, go support the music and the artists, and go see them live. Okay, let's wrap up the new albums and EPs with a couple mentions of some stuff that really came out very much more recently. Again, I'm recording on April 28th. These albums came out on April 24th. This is Big Blue Moon by The Moss and The Great Divide by Noah Kahan. I did get a chance to listen to each of these albums. I actually just listened to them for the first time today. So this is one listen. Again, very much first impressions. I think The Great Divide by Noah Kahan has some good stuff. I'm looking forward to listening to that one a couple more times. The Moss and their album Big Blue Moon. It's only 9 songs. They had 2 singles beforehand. I had mentioned that I was a little bit nervous about the 2 singles and just kind of how it would pan all the way out. And after just one listen of Big Blue Moon, it's it's okay. I'll give it a couple more listens for sure, but I feel like The Moss is kind of taking a direction that maybe just doesn't necessarily work for me. Again, I'm still always going to love The Moss. Their album from 2019 called Bryology is one of the best albums out there. I will give it a couple more tries. We'll see if it can latch on to me like the Free Ride EP by The Moss did last year. But it's just a different type of music that The Moss has been putting out lately, and that's fine. I'm glad that they're out there putting out their 3rd ever album, and hopefully Big Blue Moon will be something that I can report on later and be pleasantly surprised that it like worked out for me or something like that. But maybe a little bit more to say on The Great Divide by Noah Kahan and Big Blue Moon by The Moss. Last thing to mention, Evergreen. This is a new EP by Who Ate All the Crayons. It released on April 30th, so just a day ago if you're listening to the Jammies right now as it releases. Evergreen EP, it's going to have 5 songs on it. 2 had been released beforehand called Saving File and Beast of Burden. Those ones, great songs. Really excited to have those ones in a new EP that I can shuffle up. And the other 3 songs, I got a chance to listen to them a little early. Purchased the EP on Bandcamp. Got it early and really good stuff there as well. So stoked to have more Who Ate All the Crayons, of course, and I'm excited to share more with you guys here soon. I'll be talking about it. It's probably in episode 18.5 and going forward into episode 19. I'll give you the full breakdown, but know that Who Ate All the Crayons, one of my favorite artists. I mean, they won 2 different awards, including Jammies Song of the Year in 2025. You guys know I've been talking a lot about Who Ate All the Crayons and that I love Who Ate All the Crayons, so we can move on from that. And again, we'll hopefully have some more on each of these recent albums and EPs. All right, let us get into the saucy singles for this episode. Episode 18, we're going to burn through the saucy singles because it's a couple of returning artists and just not necessarily a whole bunch to say on each of these ones. Just some really good songs. Happy to include them in the Jammies playlist. So if you want more information on it, what better way than to just listen to the songs? So they'll be included on that Jammies playlist, and definitely check those ones out. But let's get into the saucy singles. First off with the song Rat Race by Winya. Winya just keeps on releasing music, and this is one of my favorite ones that they have released in recent memory, honestly. And Rat Race has got a good little story that it's telling. It's got good lyrics, and all in all, a really solid new single from Winya. We also have a new single from Nicole Alexis, who was actually featured on second ever artist showcase on the Jammies. Nicole Alexis. The newest single is called Don't Tell Me to Breathe. Really talent just showcased in this one by Nicole Alexis. So go check that one out. Fast-paced acoustic guitar, great voice. That is Don't Tell Me to Breathe by Nicole Alexis. Next up, we have the song One of Those Nights. This is a brand new one by the artist Dwellers. It's spelled Dwllrs, so basically like Dwellers, but without the vowels, I guess. Dwellers, I'm not sure if I ever mentioned them before. If I would have mentioned them in a previous episode, it would have been for the single called Looking Back at Us Now. Really like that one. Again, I maybe mentioned them, but luckily follow them, and I was shown in my release radar the song One of Those Nights by, again, Dwellers. This one is fantastic. It has some beautiful piano and a little bit of a slower song, slow burn, but it's really a very pretty song. So highly recommend that one. That'll be in the Jammies playlist, of course. Next up is the song Simple Things by Evening Elephants. I have mentioned Evening Elephants a couple times on the Jammies for sure. But if you've never actually checked out Evening Elephants, I want you to do something. I want you to queue up the song Simple Things by Evening Elephants. And if you've never heard them before, just play it and then pause it after like 10 seconds. Exactly 10 seconds. I just want you to guess like what genre you think their music usually like falls into, and then you can continue after and maybe continue this podcast after, because I'll talk a little bit about them here. But the song Simple Things by Evening Elephants, this is one that Evening Elephants just continue to amaze me with like how artistic and like the quality of their music, where they have like goofy raps and they have some like like odd, definitely West Coast songs, from just a drummer and one, again, kind of goofy rapper. I don't think that he'd be offended by me saying that either, but I love Evening Elephants. I listen to a lot of their music. I think just about every single song I have in an Evening Elephants playlist. I don't really skip any of them. I am a big fan of all their stuff, and this one, Simple Things, few little references, few puns, but overall it's a gorgeous song. Like, it's got some fantastic drums, like almost up there with like 21 Pilots and Josh Dunn's drumming, like that sort of thing, just built up in the background. And like, why not just close it out with this lovely piano that ends the last 20 seconds of the song? Like, I just love this one. Like, can't say enough good things about Evening Elephants, and maybe my second favorite song by them ever. So a lot to love about Simple Things by Evening Elephants. And I've said it before, if you need a list of Evening Elephant songs to check out, definitely reach out to me and I'll have a solid list for you, because I know their music pretty darn well at this point and would be happy to share it with you. Next saucy single, this one's called What's the Appropriate Length of This Argument? This is the latest single from Edge Hill. It's actually on their deluxe album, Ode to the Grey House. So Ode to the Grey House we talked about earlier this year. They did release a deluxe album recently, and this is like the only new song off the deluxe album. The other ones are maybe some live songs, I believe, from that Ode to the Grey House album. So anyways, What's the Appropriate Length of This Argument by Edge Hill is a really good one. And the last saucy single, and what is going to lead us into the upcoming albums and EPs that we will talk about, is the song Low Life by none other than Rum Jungle. Rum Jungle, I'm just getting to talk about them again. They do release a lot of music, but Low Life was released a couple weeks back actually already. And along with that release of Low Life, we also got an album release and release date and everything like that from Rum Jungle. So going into the albums and EPs that are coming up soon here, we have Marginalia, I believe is what it's going to be called. Marginalia, again, by Rum Jungle. This is going to be a brand new album from Rum Jungle coming out on June 5th of this year. So recency bias, if you check that one out, that was actually the winner of the best album of 2025. And we listened to a lot of albums last year. So recency bias won it. That was Rum Jungle's previous album from 2025. And we get to look forward to a brand new one coming in June called Marginalia by Rum Jungle. So let's go. More Australian rock. Brace yourself for it. Low Life is a great single too. So hopefully they lean into what they're working with there. But I am going to be checking that one out, of course. And we'll be talking about it in June. So look forward to that one. Going back a couple of steps here, we have been talking about the new album coming out on May 1st from Young the Giant called Victory Garden, and it's actually out now. As of the release of this episode, we also have that Victory Garden album from Young the Giant, so go check that one out. Big, long-time Young the Giant fan, and some of the singles have really been catching me back up with Young the Giant, so hoping for some good stuff. Even if I get a couple songs that I love, some new stuff from Young the Giant that I love, let's go. Absolutely. Another album we've been mentioning a couple times is As Is by Josiah and the Bonnevilles. This one is releasing next week on May 8th, so another one to look forward to there. Along with that, just to re-mention, we have that Allo Monroe EP coming out in May. Don't know the name of it yet, but that one will be coming up, as well as that Why the Lights Flicker by Telescreens, who we mentioned for the first time here today. So that's June 12th of this year. A couple other ones that I've been seeing via social medias and whatnot. I believe a debut album is coming by Margot Sinclair. An unannounced album from Elias Hicks is also on the way. And the second album from Almost Monday is arriving sometime this year as well. So 3 artists that we've definitely talked about a couple of times on the Jammies will be releasing new music. I'll be keeping my eye out for that, and when I get more information, best believe that it'll be on the midway episodes as well as the main episodes for the Jammies. So hopefully that keeps you filled in on some good new music, some stuff to pre-save on your respective music service. And that is that. Man, I have been recording already for an hour, so let's wrap it up here with a little bit of quick housekeeping. Again, follow the show. If you don't mind rating the podcast as well, all those things help. If somebody sees that it's a 5-star podcast, I think you're more likely to actually click into it, right? So follow the show, click the little bell or whatever it is to actually be notified that when a new episode comes out, you'll actually get a notification right on your phone. Never miss an episode that way. Do appreciate that as well. Again, if you have recommendations for the show, if you've been enjoying any of the recommendations, or if you have music that you want showcased on the show, do reach out to me. The best way is at thejammiesshow@gmail.com. The email address is right in the description. Otherwise, my socials will be linked in that Linktree link also in the description. That is that. We have Jammies playlist that we have mentioned a couple times here. Again, in every episode, we have a Jammies playlist. Every song that's mentioned is going to be in those lists. The link to those is right in the episode description as well. It'll bring you to Spotify, and you can listen through everything we've been mentioning here. We also have the Alphabet Superset to look forward to. Looking forward to putting that one together. We'll see how it all goes. I'm thinking they're only going to be really like 3 minutes long, maybe like 3 to 5 minutes at most, I would think. But that'll be a fun little series for me to work through, again, some albums. First one's going to be Aha, Shake, Heartbreak by Kings of Leon. Looking forward to diving into an album that came out long ago and kind of reminiscing, telling a little story, hopefully. And hope you guys enjoy that content there. No definitive date, but expect them on Fridays, hopefully at least one a month. That's my plan for that. But again, like I said, summers get busy, so we'll see how that goes. No matter what, though, we have the midway episodes, which is going to be middle Friday of every month. That's going to be debriefing on the songs that I mentioned in the full episodes and upcoming albums and all that. And then, of course, our main episode, episode 19 of The Jammies, should be out. I believe it's going to be May 29th, that last Friday of May. So I got a lot of work to do. We'll click the reset button. I already got more bands, believe it or not, to dive into, stuff that I just had to put on the back burner. So I'm really excited about this band called Leap. They're blowing up right now, and I can't wait to dive into more of their music. The 2 songs that I heard off their recent album, blowing me away. Really excited about that. A little sneak peek into that I'm sure we'll be talking about real soon. All that, and we still have another segment, an awesome segment to get to with our artist showcase of Allo Monroe. And again, their latest single, this one's called Sway. We talked about Allo Monroe in episode 17. We deep dove into their music. They have a great EP called Smoke in My Lungs, and 2 of the songs off of there really caught my attention. After the Smoke and Augustine, I believe, were the 2. Really stoked to have connected with Allo Monroe and now being able to showcase their latest single from an upcoming EP coming out in May. This one is going to be called Sway off of that new EP. Thank you, Allo Monroe, for wanting to collaborate and working with me on this. And thank you to everybody for, of course, listening to The Jammies. It has been an awesome project. Happy to be through 18 episodes with you guys, and just thanks for listening into it. I know I keep on bringing more content to you, but I hope you're enjoying it. Don't feel like you have to listen to every single second of every bit of it, but I do appreciate anybody that's out there checking it out, even if this is your first episode. Man, to make it this far is really something. I appreciate everybody out there listening. I hope everybody's been doing well. So everybody have a great weekend if you're going into it. Have a great day today, and we'll talk to you real soon. The midway episode 18.5, will likely be on May 15th, that Friday, May 15th. Thank you again for listening. Thank you for sticking with it to the end here. And don't click off yet, because we have Allo Monroe's latest single, Sway, right here, right now. So thanks again, everybody. We'll talk to you real soon, and keep on jamming.
I'm Terry.
I'm Mason.
I'm Max.
I'm Annie.
And we're Allo Monroe.
We've got a new EP coming out late May.
And this song is called Sway, our single off that.
Hope you enjoy it. Bye.
Yeah.